Hello, I'm Preston Parker and welcome to the Making a Difference video showcase. These documentaries were produced by beginning television students at the University of La Verne. Today we'll focus on stories featuring local individuals who have positively affected the lives of others. Our first story is about Sharon, Shaffer, her family, and their strides to educate the world about Huntington's disease, a genetic brain disorder affecting over 30,000 people in the US. She and her family raise funds and awareness in hopes for a cure.
Huntington's disease is a terminal genetic disease that is characterized by symptoms we know from Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and ALS.
Sharon and her family are probably leaders of the pack here in San Diego. They're involved in plenty of fundraisers. They do different walks. They do free throw competitions and different dining events.
After losing her father and uncle to Huntington's disease, Sharon Shaffer has devoted her life to raising awareness and funds to find a cure.
She decided, since she had a lot of free time, that she would decide to put on her own events. So she started with a golf tournament that was just at a local golf course down the street from our house. And she did that for a few years.
And we decided what a better way to raise awareness than to ride bikes across the country. Figure you're gonna cross 14 states. Somewhere along the way, you're gonna meet families that's affected. And so Sharon is the one that coordinated all that. All I had to do was ride. She coordinated the fundraising, she coordinated the vehicle, making sure the vehicles, we had the vehicles, made sure that she got all the paperwork for the race organizers.
The riders crossed the finish line. Sharon was able to receive them, and yeah, we finished the race and everyone came back home, and it was a beautiful, like, bonded experience, and the family grew larger, right? And the awareness grew.
She got tested around 36, and then she started feeling the symptoms come on about 38.
My main motivation is that I have a genetic disease and I've lost so many of my family members to this.
Sharon is a very tough girl, you know. By no means is she backing down from what she's going through.
I'd say the biggest change that I've seen in her is just her platform of trying to get the word out there for HD. Myself and my family, we had never heard of HD before.
She puts herself out there. Not a lot of people who have Huntington's like to say that they have Huntington's or, be in public or go do things, but I think her biggest impact is actually making other people outside of the HD community aware of what she has. I mean, she'll tell a waitress, she'll tell, anyone that she meets what she has. She passes out bracelets.
She's so strong. This gym, we've worked out together for many years doing CrossFit, and she still, pushes to do that. And I think it's just probably, I know it's for herself, but I think it's probably more for her kids, for, Lex and Tay, to see that, she's still pushing every day.
We raise our children to know that this could be in their future, as opposed to her growing up. It was never really talked about. So our goal was to be front and center with the disease.
Part of her, legacy is that unlike my grandfather, she doesn't want to hide it. She will tell anyone who will listen. And I think that's what HD patients in general need, to see that it's okay to admit that you have it.
She's not going to take a back seat. She's going to continue to do what she can until she can't do it anymore. So with that, how can we not support her?
She's taught me to say just yes a lot more in life. As cliche as it sounds, like to just make every moment matter.
Everything I do for all of my family that's passed. So I try to teach my kids to take that on as well. So it's pretty cool to see how they've come full circle.
Do you know what it feels like to fly? Well, Maria Bernhardt has created an amazing space where people of all ages come to express themselves through physical activity in the air. In the city of Claremont, right off of First Street, there is a community filled with the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Little did they know that there was a woman with quite the artistic background who would create an atmosphere where people could grow creatively and challenge their bodies like never before. This woman is Maria Bernhardt, and she is the founder of Ariel Circus Studio.
I got the idea to create Circus Studio after I was living in London, studying street performing. Then I became a street performer, and then I joined the circus for a while. And many years later, when I was living here, I thought it would be a really fun addition to the community.
This is Ariel Circus Studio.
Maria Bernhardt has been amazing. Without her and creating this studio, I would not have found Silks. I wouldn't have found circus, and that has completely changed my life.
Zara is one of the many teachers who is trained under Maria. With a fun and energized air, she works with many students, young and old, helping them develop their skill on silks and trapeze. With Maria's guidance, Zara has been able to create a class like no other.
Every single day that I come in here, there's somebody who's really excited about learning something new. A lot of people are challenging themselves and actually able to complete their challenges.
Yeah, and then take this one, try and hold here. That way, that way you can.
Maria is more like a friend than anything. She's been super awesome, and she took me in, no questions asked, and has just allowed me to have complete creative control over all the things that I want to do here and all the things I want to pursue and all the things I want to give to the kids, and she's let me really just bloom into my own creative self as well.
Maria prides herself on her ability to teach all, regardless of age or physical condition. She encourages those with physical ailments and disabilities to keep working and prove that their physical disabilities are not limiting and that they are still capable of amazing things.
I think who you are has a lot to do with who you are physically. And I think that the body is amazing because you can always change it, and you can see the change and you can feel the change, and that has a huge effect on people's lives.
Back. Nice. Now let go.
I've had scoliosis since I was a kid, and I think teaching here sometimes, because I'm always doing stuff, sometimes it throws me off balance, but I've had to really learn to have stretches that keep me in balance, which has been really awesome because other people come in with those same imbalances, and I'm able to really help correct that with them and give them certain stretches and certain things that will help them.
Before I started, I was very sad, very, very lazy, not doing very much. I had seasonal depression, and coming here, being able to exercise and getting out of that, those negative feelings has completely changed my life.
My favorite thing about coming to work is just seeing how happy all of our clients are. My teachers are happy, the kids who come in are happy, and everybody's learning something new.
I'm really, really indebted to Maria. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be here. I can't tell her how much this has affected my life in a positive way, and I am here to stay as long as she'll have me.
I think her difference really is in us as teachers, because she trusts us to handle all of her students, and with all of our amazing teachers and with her guiding us through it, we've all been able to create this amazing, wonderful space with absolutely incredible, talented performers and students as well.
Although her space is small, Maria makes a big difference in the lives of her teachers, students, and community as a whole by providing a safe space for physical growth and creative expression. Maria hopes that the city of Claremont notices that there are no limits when you work hard and let creativity be your guide. Our next story explores the life of Brittany Moreno, who fuels the 212 training facility in Covina. Brittany inspires young athletes to reach their full potential by using softball to further their education and push them into a positive direction.
Brittany Moreno turned tragedy into triumph, which then powered 212 Training Center.
The idea was birthed to my brother Rob. He's my oldest brother. It happened after our brother was taken from us. He was murdered in the city of Covina.
Just a few months after we lost my brother Manny Moreno. He was murdered right down the street from here in the city of Covina. Myself, my family, some group of friends, we wanted to do something to help victims of violent crimes.
My name is Brittany Moreno, and I'm a strength and conditioning coach at 212 Training Center, located in Covina, California. The things that mean the most to me with working with kids is seeing that kid that isn't quite, I don't know how to put it in the right way, doesn't quite fit in, doesn't really know who they are, whether it's a girl or a boy. It's really nice to teach them confidence, and it's really nice to teach them just mental toughness, because I mean, as we start to grow up, we know this life is pretty rough, and if you're not mentally tough and you don't really know how to get through things, you kind of get stepped all over. So it's really nice to be able to instill that in them, to how to be tough and just how to really make it and face adversity and overcome it.
Understands what it's like to grow up in this area. She relates really well with softball girls, especially because she played softball for her entire freaking life. And I think just having her be involved with Covina High School at one point, Charter Oak at one point, and future endeavors wherever she is in this area, she's just going to make a really big impact because she's a homegrown girl. She's from here. She's from down the street. It's huge.
It makes a difference in the community by empowering young athletes.
Do you also coach high school softball? As of this year, I'm not coaching right now, but I am still a private instructor here at 212. So being able to actually help that athlete perfect their skill, their specific skill, I should say. Hitting is huge in softball. If you don't hit the ball, you don't really get into the lineup. So it's really nice being able to teach a young child or even an older athlete how to just perfect their swing a little bit and the most bang for their buck out of their swing. So it's one of my favorite things to do, is instruct. My personal philosophy as a strength coach is, hey, if you can play a sport and use it as a vehicle to get your education paid for and to really figure out a career that you are planning to go ahead and completely commit your life to, why not get it paid for? So my job as a strength coach here is to push that kid out of any type of boundary, whether it's mental strength, physical strength, like I said, speed, agility. It's my job is just to push them to get better in all areas.
Brittany Moreno is my younger sister. She's also our head trainer. What she brings to the table, not just her degrees in kinesiology and sports med, but also just the passion to help student athletes go to the next level.
It's never a chore for her. It's fun for her all the time. She always wants to learn. She always loves learning from the kids, learning from me, learning from Jack, learning from anybody. It doesn't matter who it is.
She lights up the room. She is full of energy, but not like uncontrollable, crazy energy. It is a very raw, genuine. She's excited to be around people.
It's contagious. She walks in the facility. If she walks in there, it's just happy. She loves being here no matter what age group she has, no matter who she has, if it's an individual, if it's a big group, small group, she just loves being here.
Brittany, she's a complete firecracker, and her passion and her will to help the young athlete succeed, she just brings this morale here at the center. And you know, she could be mean at times, but it's definitely the passion that helps our young people go to the next level.
I've been called a firecracker at times. Definitely a firecracker, but when it's time to get to work, it's time to get to work. You won't hear much out of me. I'm a go-getter, you know. If I want to see something change in my life, I'm going to make it change. If I want to see something get better, you can't just sit there and hope for the best, you know. That's blind faith. We're still very new, 212, but I know that huge things are going to happen. For me personally, I'd like this facility to be one of the main baseball and softball facilities in the area.
Eve Knowles found that sports can change lives for the better. As a volleyball coach, she was able to turn her troubled past into a future filled with helping young girls grow and mature.
Eve Knowles hasn't always had an easy life, but volleyball has always been an outlet for her. For most of her youth, her adopted father molested her. Heavy into alcohol, promiscuous, and in and out of juvenile hall, she was kicked out at the age of 16. She began school at San Jose City College, where her passion for volleyball became clear, and she realized that she wanted to create the same outlet for other kids just like her. With the love of volleyball and passion for helping still in her heart, she moved to Chino, where she became an inspiration and began to do what she knew what she was created to do. She became a volleyball coach.
I think my experiences have allowed me to get to a point where I can really relate to young adults. And so it just kind of fit for me to do this because all of my experiences allows me to relate to girls with different backgrounds. So you can have girls who are going through domestic issues, you can have girls who are going through legal issues, you can have girls who just have emotional or mental health issues, and all of which, you know, I've encompassed in my life. And so when I'm working with these young adults, I relate really, really well with them. And so the skills and the fundamentals that are taught on the court are one thing, but being able to relate to young adults and being able to identify some of the things that they're going through and allow them to share a bit of yourself allows the connection to happen, which means you're going to get the most out of your athletes, but also, you know, it's enriching for both of us to be able to have the experience together.
Inspiring. It's definitely inspiring to watch her overcome all of her hardships and, you know, the stuff that she's been through in her adolescence and growing up and even in her adult years. To watch her overcome it and be here now and be able to work with children and help children get through their hardships at home because of the way she's more of an intimate type of coach. She's more worried about what's going on in your life rather than just what's going on the court. So it's pretty inspiring to watch.
Whenever I go to practices, I'm like super excited, you know, and especially like with college because I didn't have parents that went to school or anything. So she's personally like went to these schools and visited them with me. She's taught me how to like talk to people and, you know, stuff that I never knew like how to do. She's taught me a lot with coaching and by just watching her and everything like that.
She's wonderful. She's awesome to work for and to work with. She has never made me feel like I am inferior to her. Always equals. She always has a way of making everyone who works for her feel like they're her equal. With her experience, her education, her background, she is the most qualified, both here in club and in the high school setting.
I think as a person and as a young woman, she's helped me grow just, you know, in day-to-day life and being positive and, you know, being loud and, you know, just your bright personality, you know, not to let anyone like discourage you from doing that. And in volleyball, I mean, she taught me basically everything about volleyball, from hitting to passing to everything.
She's able to tap into emotions and just personalities with these kids and really break down some troubles that they may be experiencing. And she is able to give them an insight that they can't get from their own camp, you know, their own friends, their own family, their own parents.
She's helped me a lot. I know one thing that I'm super grateful for is that when my family and I, like, we have financial issues, it's like, she's always like, I got you, don't worry about it. Or if I need to cry to her about something, she's always there just to motivate me. Like, she's only there to help, that's her. She's helped me grow mentally a lot, like trusting people with my attitude and just a lot like that.
I've become really zen in my adult life. You know, I practice Buddhism, and that's helped me a lot with, you know, meditation and so on. So I'm at a point now where it's a game, you know, and I'm competitive and I want to win, but it's a game. And at the end of the day, have my girls developed? Are they having a good time? Are they better players than they were the day before? That's all that matters to me. And if I see that happening, then I have no reason to be disturbed or be upset or, you know, get all riled up.
We hope these stories inspire you to make a difference in your own community. For the Making a Difference video showcase, I'm Preston Parker. Thank you for watching.